in the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Wilson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. Says to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Forced out to his left. And he's got the hook up to Moore. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
You better be afraid of me.
Throwing is Wilson. It's caught, blocked it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Check right 54, right 54. Bandit.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Check. Watch 54. I know he ain't got it.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Moore, 43 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Looky here, a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and now an onside kick. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. Well, they just scored, they got the lead, and they decide to keep their foot on the accelerator, so to speak.
Scouting, scouting, scouting. They had to have seen something in their preparation for this game that told them in this situation, if they get the look they like, let's go ahead and go for it anyway. They like being bold.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. David Moore, the intended target, and now it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson, rolling to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there's a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now it's Carson. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. 8-0 our score with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. To throw is Wilson. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
Right there, 54 Mike. They gonna need some therapy.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. On the move to his left. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Let's make these babies proud.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He hits his running back, Procise. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. Now it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson, 47 yards. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and that cuts it to 9 at 16-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Right there, 54 Mike. I got you. I got you.
They go play action with Wilson, eluding the pressure right. Now, and I think the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
We got it. We got it.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Try the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
On first down, Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
54. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 9-yard touchdown run as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game. Because of that particular play, they had no answer.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touch.
Look at the big man rumble. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it, because to me it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air, and what a result. Big-time play.
So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. I tell you what, credit is due there on him preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Flush to his right. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
It's a foot race past the 20. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 45 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Watch 54. Watch 54. Alert.
On 1st down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Throwing is Wilson. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Back to throw. Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Being chased out left, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
I'm going to come back to you.
Throwing now is Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
On first down, Carson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, you should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Wilson to throw. He's going to let it fly. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 45 yards, and the Seahawks have taken the lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time is a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He's got this one complete to John Ursua. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw here is incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Rolling to his right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take it?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Here's the team.